Question 6. What is the need of IP address in computer network? So why we use an IP address is, by using an IP address we can uniquely identify each and every device which is connected to the network. Write down the followings according to the given IP address using CIDR notation. Default class of the above IP address. So when you check the address is within class B range, therefore class of the IP address is class B. Network address on this subnet. So here if we write the given dotted decimal notation with binary dot notation, 32 and 230 can be written like this. 32 can be taken as 001, 000, and again 2 zeros, and 230 as 3 ones, 2 zeros, 2 ones, and 0. And here the IP address is given as 176.228.32.230/25. That means 25 for network bits. So if you consider 25 bits, we can take 176, 228, and 32, and another bit from 230 side. So if we take that bit to the network side, and if we make all the other bits, that means rest of the 7 bits has 0, the IP address we get is 176.228.32.128. So that will be the network address of this subnet. Part C, number of hosts on this subnet. So for this subnet, when we consider 25 network bits, we have 7 more bits for the hosts. Therefore, we can have 2 to the power 7 hosts for this subnet. So valid hosts will be 128 minus 2, because 1 will be removed for broadcast address and another one will be removed for network address. Therefore, number of usable or valid hosts are 126 and total number of hosts are 128. Part B, first host on this subnet. The network address is 176.228.32 and 128. Therefore, we have to add another one to that to have the first host. So the first host will be 176.228.32.129, and the last host means for the broadcast address we take all ones for hosts. Therefore, if we reduce 1 from that, we get 176.228.32.254. And part F, broadcast address on this subnet. Broadcast address means we have all ones for the host bits. That means 176.228.32.255. Part G, number of subnetworks. This network belongs to class B, therefore the default mask of class B is 16 bits and the subnet mask of the given network is 25, and if we subtract 16 from 25 we get 9. Therefore the subnetworks we have is 2 to the power 9, which is 512. This is the last part. Assume you're working as the network administrator in a computer laboratory. A PC assigned an IP address of 192.168.20.101 with network masks 255.255.255.0. The router in your laboratory network have been configured using an external IP address which obtained from Internet Service Provider. and then they have mentioned about the IP address of the internet service provider. Part A. What is the process of mapping local IP address to single public IP address? Briefly explain it. Here, if you see the IP addresses, the IP address which internet service provider has starts with 138.76 like that, and the IP address assigned for the PC is mentioned as 192.6, 168 point like that. So therefore, there are two types of IP addresses here. For the PC, we have public addresses, and for the internet service provider, uh, we have private IP address. So therefore, we have to map these two, and for mapping process we use network address translation, which is simply called as NAT. Part B. When you try to access the facebook.com from your PC, in which IP address that Facebook server will identify you. So we know that public IP addresses can be used by anyone. There are no restrictions of using that, but we can't use those public addresses when we access internet. The public address will be valid only within the internal network. Therefore, when we access facebook.com, that is outside our network, then therefore we can't use our internal IP addresses to go to that facebook.com. Therefore, the IP address which we will be recognized is the IP address of the internet service provider, which is 138.76.29.20. Part C. When you send a file to a friend's PC assigned with the IP address of 192.168.20.150, what is the source address of the packet headers regarding the file that you sent? In this case, if you compare your IP address and the friend's IP address, both IP addresses are within the same network, that means 192.168.20 network. Therefore, both these PCs are within the same internal network, and your friend's machine will identify you with your own IP address, which is 192.168.20.101.